Welcome to Film Fridays here on Kababayan Today. We are wrapping up our Filipino-American History Month for October, but we are here to talk to the director of Delano Manong's, Marissa Aroy, who's here to talk about her other documentary that's just as fascinating called Little Manila. Hello, Marissa. Thank you for being with us here once again.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I got to watch your documentary called Little Manila, and I was fascinated because this is information that I didn't know about us Filipinos living here in California as long as back in the day.
Yeah, fascinating, isn't it?
Fascinating. So talk to me about the process of how this film got made.
I was working in documentary film, and I got a call from the KBIE, which is a station in Sacramento, and they were looking to do more stories for a series that they have on the community. And so it was them along with the Center for Asian American Media, which is an organization that tries to get out Asian American stories. And the two of them were the ones who commissioned me to go in and tell the story about Little Manila. And I really didn't know anything else about it at the time. So it was from scratch learning about this community and about the history of those Filipino farm workers.
Okay, so let's talk about Little Manila for the people that don't know.
Little Manila is a neighborhood in Stockton, which is in sort of northern central, it's more of the central valley of California. And it's a place where there were a lot of hotels and gambling halls and dance halls, and where a lot of the Filipinos would be. It was sort of a station for the Filipinos. And from there, they were all of the asparagus workers of the area in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. They sort of took over as the farm workers for that specialty of cutting asparagus.
So how long did it take you to research and to actually get the film into completion? Did it take a long time?
No, unlike Delano Manong's, which took 5 years, this took more like 3-4 months.
Yeah, but this is like every single day, right?
It was with the help of a lot of people from the community in Stockton, a lot of the Filipino community, including the FANS, Filipino American National Historical Society, the Stockton chapter and the national chapter. And they've got loads of these beautiful black and white photos of the Filipinos at the time, all dressed up in their suits or out in the fields as well. And so I was able to take all of that footage and interview people from the community and make the program.
As a documentary filmmaker, it seems like you really have to stitch together this story because you have all this material. You have photos, you've got, testimonies. How are you able to sort of cohesively make this piece of media that will really resonate to us Filipinos?
It's sort of a huge process to think about, in a bit of a responsibility that you try not to think about too much, because it was my first chance to do something about Filipino Americans, right? And
after film school.
After film school, after going to graduate school in journalism and specializing in documentary film. And this is what I had been wanting to do, was do a story about the Filipinos. So when someone says, you have 30 minutes to make a film about the history of Filipinos in this area, you consider it like it's your only chance to ever make a film again. And so I'm trying to cram in all of this history, as much of the history about Filipinos coming to the U.S., the relationship of the U.S. and the Philippines at the time, and then tell the story up to this day about Little Manila, this area in Stockton, and where it is now. And so, I mean, I think I wanted to make like a 3-hour film, but somehow I was able to cram it all together, and the editor helped cram it all together into 30 minutes. And, it's really all the pieces, I think, that were the most important of this history, and trying to create chapters about like all the different stories there are.
Okay, so can you talk to us about, if there are people watching in the audience, how would you encourage them to pursue a career in media, specifically in documentary filmmaking?
And telling our stories. Well, it's certainly they need to prepare themselves for having a life that is not financially stable, for one, but The idea of being able to tell our stories as Filipinos, as women, as immigrants coming in here, I think is incredibly important. And I don't think we even understand how it's going to change the fabric of our identity in the future. But it's about learning a trade like anything else. And it's about believing that you have the skills in storytelling and continuing to hone the skills of storytelling.
I always say film is such a powerful medium because it really has this ability to move you, to see things in a different light. And that's why we have Film Fridays. I wanted to talk to you about Little Manila, and I also want to tell everybody that Marissa will be showing a little clip of Little Manila here on Kababayan Today. What are you working on besides this? Moving forward, I know you're busy with Delano Manongs and all the screenings worldwide, but what are you looking forward to doing in the future?
Well, we're continuing to make films, some fictional films now. I actually went to the Philippines 2 years ago and made a short fictional film called The Recipe, and we're trying to get it out now in film festivals. And my husband and I are making a documentary for Irish television. He's from Ireland, so we're working on that, as well as a comedy series, an online comedy series. So we're trying to mix it up.
Okay, well, I know you were also in Tacloban recently. Talk to us about that experience and what were you able to capture on film?
Yes, I was a video producer for the communications department at UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, and it was actually a really difficult thing to do, to go there, and I had never seen Filipinos devastated in that way.
Okay, you have to promise us that you will allow us to see the footage that you shot.
I will.
Okay, wonderful. Pagbalik natin dito sa Kababayan Today, makikita nyo po ang napaka-iksing clip ng Little Manila. Huwag po kayong aalis.